Welcome to Atomicdieee's audiobook. Sit back and relax as you listen to the book A Weakness Called Love, The Memoirs of an African Housemaid, written by Glamty and narrated by Atomicdieee. Chapter 12. I decided to see Moody before I go to the market. I just can't get enough of him. After that intoxicated laugh, who will blame me? Shet was not in the mood of getting out, so I let her be. I almost forgot my promise to her about Musa, but I shall make good my promise soon. Things are good with Moody. Shetu shall have Musa also. I'll start working on it when I get back home. I had reached Moody's house. When I said my salam, there was no answer. I decided to creep and eavesdrop a bit. There is no harm in borrowing a trick from Asabe, I thought. I quickly entered their compound and I saw Moody and Hafsa together. Standing at the entrance of their room, she was telling him something. Moody was grinning like a 3-year-old, showing that coyness most girls possess, but I was never gifted with. Now he was closer, talking to her. Their faces were inches apart. She was giggling. I watched them in horror with pursed lips. She was no longer the cute Hafsa I know. In my eyes, she was a vile, hideous creature, trying to usurp what is mine. He ran a finger on her annoying cheeks, while she pouted and hit him sluggishly. If I stayed and watched any longer, I would definitely puke. Witch, I thought. Why doesn't he have any shame? Then again, she is his wife, and again, they were within the confines of their matrimonial home, unaware of my presence. He was about to do something, probably carry the toad, when I decided I cannot watch anymore. I repeated my salam in a loud voice several times. They answered in unison. Now that is annoying. Why wouldn't she let him just answer? Why ruin his hypnotizing husky voice? Why doesn't she have some self-respect? I thought. She was getting on my nerves. She exclaimed, "Laddie, welcome." "Good evening," I said. I then glared at him when she was not looking. "Let me get you something to drink," she says. As she left, I shot Moody a deadly glare. He just smiled at me. Within minutes, she was back with a covered silver cup of water. I took the cup from her, drank, and then said, "I have brought rice and beans. Do you want to buy?" "No thanks," she said. "We have already eaten today," she said, looking at him with a cunning smile. "We sure did," he said with a grin, his eyes never leaving hers. "Okay," I said. "I better be on my way then." I carried my tray. When I was about to go, Hafsat said, "Good luck, laddie. May you sell all that food with ease. May God protect you. God bless you, my sister," she said genuinely. Ordinarily, I would have felt something, guilt perhaps. I felt nothing. Nothing but coldness. I felt a venom inside me. Only hatred and resentment towards her. "Amin," I managed to say. I was angry. I felt entitled to my anger. In that moment, I realized one thing. I loathed her, not because she did anything wrong to me, but because she was married to my beloved. I decided I would do anything in my power to make him solely mine. When me and my beloved get married, she will either be that redundant wife or find somewhere else to be. I vowed silently as I walked out, trying to conceal my anger. I went to our spot, put my tray down and folded my arms with a frown as I waited for Moody, but Moody did not follow. I waited. First I started pacing, with fuming anger, waiting to give him a piece of my mind. 20 minutes passed. Moody was nowhere to be found. I stood on the huge, well-developed roots of the mango tree to get a better view. Still, Moody was a no-show. How could he, I thought. What was his problem? An hour passed. Moody did not show. I carried my tray and went to the market, still hoping I would see him there, but he was not there also. He had stayed home. How hard-hearted he must be. How could I blame him? This is all his wife's fault, the witch. Perhaps she has bewitched him. That must be it. She has used charm on him. I'll have to undo her evil. But deep down, I know Hafsat is a good person. I wish she will insult me or treat me badly. Then my hatred will be justified. I had sold a lot of plates. When I became emotionally drained, I had to go home. I went home. One look at me and my mother was dead worried. I told her I was sick. I had a terrible headache. I lay down on our worn-out mattress and let hot tears of anguish roll freely out of my eyes. Drowning in my tears with a sunken heart, words cannot explain how I feel. My mother brought some herbs to me. She thought I was not feeling well. I pretended to drink and kept the rest beside the mattress. I wanted my mother to hug me, but I dare not ask. I know she loves me, but public display of affection towards one's daughter was equated to not having proper values. It does not conform to the accepted rules of modesty, especially the first child. She was to be loved only at heart and ignored in reality. Acknowledging the first child is almost a blasphemy. So blasphemous that it was next to calling a mother or father-in-law by name. The name of the first child shall never be called by his mother. You or this girl was used to call a first daughter, while you was for the first son. At least I'm lucky I'm not a first child. The next morning I went to the market. Moody was there, but he refused to talk to me. I sent a boy with his food. He ate and sent the plate back with money for the meal. I sent back the money. Still he did not glance my way. He left the market. Mariam was looking at all that unfolded. She exclaimed, "There is a problem." That market day was the longest. When I went back home, I told my mother that the sickness had returned. She gave me herbs. I drank it, knowing fully well I was healthy, but perhaps it might cure my heartache. The anguish and sadness I felt inside was overwhelming. I had to talk to Shetu. I poured my heart out to her. She comforted me and promised to help. But we have to wait until tomorrow, Shetu says. How will I survive till tomorrow was the biggest question, but I had no choice. In the morning, I met my mother outside, but she was not cooking. I asked why. She told me I needed to rest, that I was sick. I am better, mother. You should have cooked. I'm not a baby. No, you need to rest, she insisted. Okay, I said, because I was not in the mood to argue. I bathed, got ready, stood by the door and yelled, "Mother, I will be at Shetu's." I could hear her saying something, but I did not bother to listen, probably telling me to stop and rest. I just rushed out, avoiding another conversation. Shetu and I agreed I needed to see him to clarify issues. We went to his house. It was decided it was better that I wait outside while Shetu calls him. She called him and left. We exchanged greetings and he kept quiet. I expected explanation or apology, but I got neither. He just looked at me without a word. Every nerve in my body was tensed. Every look sent chills down my spine. As he looked at me, I felt inadequate under his scrutiny. I wished I was prettier, taller, fairer and curvier. I wasn't enough anymore. I felt inferior to him. I had never been insecure, but before Moody, the man with an effortless charm, I was insecure. I was tongue-tied, but I had to be brave. I had to speak. I finally said, "Moody, I love you more than I love myself. Why do you push me away? Why do you treat me like I don't matter? Have I done something wrong? Why are you punishing me? What have I done to deserve this treatment from you?" I was fighting back tears and my voice was cracking. I looked at him. He chewed his lower lip and gazed on. There was no reply, only silence. I felt helpless. I did not want to cry in front of him. Exhausted, I turned to leave. Just then, he grabbed my hand and gave it a soft squeeze. My eyes widened. My mouth went open. What was he doing? He did not let go. I was now facing him. He was caressing my hand. I couldn't bring myself to stop him from the blasphemy his hands were committing. I liked the atrocities his unholy hands were making. I loved every inch of the sin his manly, callous, raw hands were committing. Damn, I was doomed. I looked up, but was caught up with his insanely brown, beautiful eyes. I quickly looked down, smiling. I felt my heartbeat increased its pace. He just smiled and continued his sensual assault. In that moment, I loved Moody more than I ever did. To love Moody was to defy all the rules I know, all that I had grown accustomed to, all that I was taught, all I ever know. Yet it felt right, destined even. Forgetting him is not an option for me. How can I forget an essential need of my existence? To me, he is like water, delicate, gentle, yet powerful and consuming. Not loving him will be easier, but I cannot bear his loss. How can I endure without water? Like drought dries up the earth and kills all living plants, this is what Moody's absence does to me. His presence brings back the life in me, just like the first showers of rainfall revives the earth. Ever since their wedding with Hafsat, I had wanted him. Now he's within my grasp, and I shall grab onto him with a tight grip, like my life depends on it. No, my life depends on it. I cannot imagine a life without my Moody in it. We have come to the end of today's chapter. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Khadija Nasser and at Atomicdieee on Twitter, and subscribe to my podcast and YouTube channels at Atomicdieee. And also don't forget to hit the notification button so that you will be informed whenever I post a new chapter. Thank you for listening, and bye ta! Love ya!